All right, who doesn't like hockey, right? Everybody loves hockey. It's our national sports, national pastime. It's hockey, right? Well, Quebec taxpayers are going to have a hefty price to pay for that love of hockey. $5 to $7 million to bring the Los Angeles Kings to Quebec City for a week of the NHL's next preseason. Now, there are some reports that, the Montreal Canadiens, they said, hey, we'll play in Quebec City for free. But, negotiations and corporations battling each other, that wasn't going to work out. Let's find out more on this and get some reaction to the Quebec government spending this money. Éric Duhaime joins us once again. He's the leader of the Conservative Party of Quebec. Hi, Éric. How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing okay. So what do you say here? $5 to $7 million. Money well spent or not?
Well, it's a scandal, especially now with the current context. The government is saying that they don't have an extra penny for their own employees, and they're giving $7 million to a multimillionaire team from the U.S. to come here to play 2 preseason games with their B or C team. I mean, it's an insult. When you think about it seriously, it makes zero sense. Especially, people who are listening to us, Elias, 1 out of 10 in the last year went to a food bank, because they couldn't afford their groceries. Mm-hmm. 1 person out of 4 is wondering how they're going to be able to renew their mortgage because of the increase in interest rates. And the government's priority is to give $7 million to an NHL team in California. I mean, I just don't understand the logic. I mean, it makes zero sense.
Now, listen, I certainly scratch my head about the timing. Okay, the timing is terrible. Strikes on the horizon, unlimited strikes on the horizon, and the food bank situation. Boy, the timing seems awful. But I got to say this, and certainly you lead the Conservative Party of Quebec. This is a pro-business party, I would imagine,
yeah.
and there's an argument to be made that you need to bring big events and big companies and big spectacles like, Los Angeles Kings. And when you bring those things in, you increase our wealth so we have more money to spend on food banks and on negotiations. What do you say to that?
There's 2 or 3 things we can say. The first one is that the Montreal Canadiens are ready to come for free, so that says it all. I mean, I think they're, anyway, people in Quebec City, I can guarantee you what they want to see is not the Los Angeles Kings nor the Montreal Canadiens of the Quebec Nordiques. So that's another issue. But anyway, so we could have it for free. The second thing is we already proved in Quebec for the last, 15 years, there's been demonstrations everywhere with a booster club, with everything. There is a huge fan base for hockey in Quebec City. If the NHL is not giving a team to Quebec City, it's because Gary Bettman doesn't want us to have a team, but we're the best market without a team in North America right now. So that has been demonstrated over and over and over again. I don't think we need to prove it once more. What? Think about the minister yesterday, the finance minister, Éric that announced that. Imagine that you're Sonia Lebel, who's currently the minister negotiating with the union, trying to tell them that they don't have a penny. The same guy, even the finance minister last week, was holding, a mini budget press conference to present us the figures for 2023 to 2024. He was saying that over the next year, the growth rate will be close to 0% in Quebec. I mean, we don't have money for those things. I mean, it's that simple. It's not that we don't like hockey. And it's an insult also. Think about the workers here in Quebec City who are saying, we're paying taxes to pay for that. And at the end of the month, we don't even have enough money to go with our family to attend such a game because it's going to cost $200, $300, $400 to go to see a game, a preseason game at the Videotron Center. So even the people who are paying for it, many of them can't afford it. And lastly, but not least, when you're having huge events, normally we have the Tournoi Pee-Wee, the Pee-Wee tournament here in Quebec City that is very popular. People come from all over America with their kids. It's huge in town. It's the biggest attraction with a lot of volunteers. They get $250,000 a year, and the economic impact are huge. Do you think seriously that people are going to come from the U.S. or from the rest of Canada to see a preseason game of the Kings in Quebec City with their B team? Come on, it's not serious. I mean, it's not the kind of activity that's going to attract a crowd that's going to, have economic consequences positively for Quebec.
So that's the big thing here, is that the economic spin-offs will not amount to anywhere near the 5 to 7. That's what you believe?
That's for sure. I mean, there's no tourists that are going to come in town to see such a thing. And also the other thing that is very insulting is that we found out since that anyway, the LA Kings were looking for somewhere to rent because their own arena was in renovation and they couldn't do their training for that week. So they were ready to rent somewhere. And now they're coming here. Not only are they not going to pay rent, but we're going to give them $5 to $7 million on top of it all. I mean, think about it. They're doing that because also they want to renovate their own arena back in California. And indirectly, Quebec taxpayers are going to subsidize that.
And let me just ask you, longer term thinking here. If there was a prospect, Gary Bettman changes his mind if he's the one who decides and says, okay, we're putting a team in Quebec City, and that would require the government to spend additional funds, tax breaks, that kind of thing, in order to seal the deal. How would you handle that if you were in government?
I'm a conservative, and I don't believe it's the state's role to subsidize professional sports, period. And I understand that there's a huge willingness of the population in Quebec City to have a team. I understand that a lot of politicians are going to promise that. We're not. And that doesn't mean I don't believe it's the role of government not to intervene in terms of sports. I think we should do it at the junior level. We should do it for the kids. As you know, in the last 2-3 years, the kids have not practiced their sports like never before. We have an obesity rate that is increasing right now. I'm really concerned about that, and I think it's the role of the government to increase their investment to build new arenas, new fields for soccer games, baseball games, football games, whatever. That's the role of the government, to make sure our kids are moving, because sports are positive for the learning curve as well. It gives you some leadership skills, the way to play in team. I mean,
Éric,
things.
I got to ask you, man, did you switch allegiance to Quebec Solidaire? Because I think I'd get the same arguments from them on money for billionaires, millionaires. They'd say the same thing, wouldn't they?
No, but it's just the facts. I mean, when you look at how the healthcare system you're saving when you're investing in sports for kids, it's just the fact. I mean, we need to make sure that kids move more. And over the last few years, they've been moving less than ever. So we need to turn things around here. And, I believe in sports, but I'm not telling you that it's the role of the state to do everything. I'm a conservative. But at least if we're going to invest in sports, that's where we should focus first and foremost, not for professional millionaires.
Éric Duhaime is leader of the Conservative Party of Quebec. Real pleasure. Thanks for hopping on with us this morning.
Thank you so much. Au revoir.
Au revoir.